Hi, welcome to Off the Ranch. It's rainy right now, but check this out. So the front of my house floods whenever it rains a lot. Right now it's not raining a lot, it's just raining a little. But we did some things recently which I think are gonna work. We have this driveway and the rain runs down the driveway and goes right up into that flower bed and then fills up the flower bed. It fills up all this, comes over this wall, dumps in here, fills up the flower bed, which is fine. The problem with that is that once it gets high enough, it goes into the wall right there and into the house. So we did some things like that gutter right there goes into a PVC pipe so that the gutter water doesn't go into the flower bed. And then we also put these drains here and here and here, and the drains go to pipes that pipe the water right here. As you can see, water is flowing out of these two pipes, and that gutter also now is piped down into the ground, and they drain the water here to this river that runs around the house, trying to keep all the water out of this flower bed, rock bed, bushes bed. The problem is it still was not enough. And on big rains, which we may be about to get right now because it's getting heavier, on big rains, it would still flow down into the flower bed, straight over that wall, and fill up and go into our house and flood the laundry room. As you can see, the water's already starting to build up here. And another problem with these things is leaves will go like that, and then they start building up, and leaves will actually clog those drains. Once those drains get clogged, then it all just flows over. So all of this kind of stuff right here will eventually work its way over and just plug up those drains. So all of this water hits our driveway and runs down, and then we cut a trench in it and put a PVC pipe in there. So now, in theory, the rainwater all comes down here, just like that, falls right into the hole, just like that, runs this way, just like that, hits the side, and a river goes down the side away from our house, not down this way, like literally into our house. Look, check this out. It's already happening. The leaves are piling up on this drain as the water starts flowing in. So when it gets really heavier, it just, clogs up that drain. Yep. It's happening. So also, on this side of the driveway, because it's a circle drive, we have the same thing. A pipe right here, drop all the water straight in, and then carry it out in this river. All of that water, if we didn't have this drain, would run down this driveway, eventually clog up these drains, and then flow over the wall into the flower bed, flooding the house. Anyway, I just spent 10 minutes getting completely soaked in this nice light rain to show you something I'm really pumped about, which is new drains that ideally are going to work. But this kind of a rain, this is not strong enough to flood our laundry room anyway. If it gets stronger, I'll let you know, but I think we're safe today, guys. We freaking did it. Okay, on to the actual video. I got something new. You guys have not seen the fire truck in a while. It's been out of Demo Ranch. Actually, the batteries died, and it took me a little bit to figure out what kind of batteries go in this thing, because it takes big, giant military batteries, and this thing hooked up to where they're 24 volts, they're hooked up together, and there were 4 in there. You only need 2, but they had 4 for like cold weather starting, but it's never cold here. It's Texas. So we put 2 in there, and it did start good today. I'm not really sure if it's gonna have enough cranking amps to always start. We'll see when it gets cold. We may have to throw another couple batteries in there, but it worked today. I tried it, and we have something new for the old fire truck. You notice that there's not a water tank on the top of this? That's because that is a new water tank. Matt, why would you get a water tank when you had a water tank? Let me tell you why. This is the bed of the fire truck. It's giant. There's a cricket in here. Sorry. It's huge, and this is a 2.5 ton truck. Like, the capacity is 2.5 tons, which means we can have a 500 gallon water tank completely full, plus like our pump and hoses and shovels and all kinds of stuff, and we are not going over capacity. The problem I had is our old tank was a big white tank, pictured here. That tank was great, it worked fine. The problem was it just was really tall. So like that water tank was like up to here, so all of our water was right here in the front. We had all this extra bed that we could put things on, but weight wise we really shouldn't, unless they're light. But like there was just all this wasted bed, And then the other problem with that is it was holding a lot of water up really tall, and when this thing got on an incline, I could feel this truck leaning. It's an off-road truck. It's made to go over any terrain, and it's made to carry cargo over any terrain. So you can see the suspension is really tall. It is above my hip. This tire right here is above my hip, and then you just got a big suspension. This thing has a lot of ground clearance. You can easily crawl under this truck, just like the 5-ton. They're giant trucks, so they're really tall. And when you get on an incline, they feel like they might be leaning a little bit. And if you have 500 gallons of water up there, it really feels like it's leaning, because it is leaning. I keep saying 500 gallons, it's actually 550 gallons. A gallon weighs 8.33 pounds. So 550 gallons is about 4,500 pounds, which is close to the 5,000 pound capacity of this whole bed, but it was sitting right there and up high. It just didn't do good. So long story short, I got a new tank, which I think will do much better, and we're gonna unbox it and put it up there. But first, a word from our sponsor for making all of this possible. Raycon. Raycon provides innovative earbud design at prices that do not break the bank. Mary and I have been running a lot lately. We're trying to get into like marathon shape, and we both have our own set of Raycons that we use every time we run. They stay in your ears really well, even when you're sweating, even when you're bouncing up and down running. Meredith listens to like Chris Stapleton and Ryan Bingham and Old Dominion and those kind of things when she runs. I can't listen to that. I gotta have something like intense. I listen to NF. It's all NF for me every single run. Raycons are the best way to listen. Great sound, comfortable fit that doesn't like stick out of your ears, noise isolating gel tips, and 32 hours of battery life. And that's because the case charges it up while they sit in here. Seamless Bluetooth pairing, more bass, and a more compact design. And the best part about it, if you're not completely satisfied, Raycon does have a 45-day free return policy. Click the link in the description or go to buyraycon.com/offtheranch to get 15% off your Raycon purchase. Raycon earbuds start about half the price as other premium wireless earbud brands, and they sound just as amazing as other top audio brands. And Raycon offers their wireless earbuds in a range of fun colors and patterns with a variety of fit options and no dangling wires or stems. Thank you to Raycon for sponsoring this episode of Off the Ranch. I'll be honest, I ordered this thing weeks ago, and I measured the bed of the fire truck, and then I went to this website that just has tons of tanks with tons of different dimensions, and I picked one that I thought would be best for the truck. Now, seeing in person, it looks scary. It should fit, I mean, based on the measurements, but I'm a little bit nervous that it's gonna be too big. It also is very hard to move up there by myself. Yeah, I don't know what my plan is, really. This is harder than I thought it would be. Doctor's like, don't move anything over 10 pounds after your back surgery. And I'm like, yeah, okay, doc, whatever. Ugh. I'm just kidding. I actually did really good with the weight restrictions after surgery. But I just got to figure out how to move this. Oh, I just realized I need to lift this thing up like 3 feet to get it in there, but then it's going to hit that. So I need to flip it over on a side first and then shove it in. I got to figure out which side is the top. This thing lays down flat, obviously. Okay, let's unwrap. It's unboxing time. Okay, that's the top. That's the bottom. So I gotta lay it over there, easy, just a piece of cake, and then throw it up there. Simple as pie. I really was gonna do this by myself, but this is Jarvis. Jarvis works as a ranch hand.
Hey guys.
And I thought, you know what? It'd be better with Jarvis than if I was all by myself. Yep, never would have done that by myself. Yeah, the thing was heavy. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. I want to see what it looks like from the ground. Yes, that is so much better. So this thing has the same capacity. This is actually kind of weird. Why would they do it like that? That means that if I have the filler here, It won't get down the bottom of that one. That's weird. I don't know. This one has the same capacity as my other tank, but it is half the height. It was a white tank, so it still let UV light through, which this one is a black tank, which means it doesn't let UV light through, which means it won't grow green algae. The white tank, when it sat out in the sun for a few days, it started kind of turning yellow and then it would turn green, and you had to go clean it out. This one should stay much more clean, and it's just black, so it looks cooler. Kind of fits the look of the truck more. So what I'm trying to figure out right now, as I'm talking to you guys, is where I should set this. Right now, it is more towards the back wheel than the front, but you gotta remember the front is also carrying the engine. There is a Cat diesel engine up in there, so it's got a lot of weight plus the cab, so I probably should scoot this back and center it on the back wheel, but I think it would be fine there, and then I have the back here to have stuff, plus like, we need a hose reel. I decided that messing with that is a big pain in the butt, so I'm gonna get a 1-inch rubber hose on a hose reel, which is what the firefighter John, who dropped this thing off, he's the one I bought it from, he told me I need a 1-inch hose. I bought a 1.5-inch flexible hose because I was like, that's better. No, John, you were right. I need a smaller diameter, non-crimping hose. I need a rubber hose so it stays not all crimped up, because this is a pain. You have to pull this thing all the way out, and it's just a pain with the little pump I have. I need to get a hose on a hose reel on the back of this truck. So I kind of like having a little extra room in case we want to carry more stuff. I don't really know what that stuff would be. I don't know, I probably should just do what's right and pull this thing back to where it's centered over that wheel right here. So it'd probably come back to here, and then we have the hose reel and everything right here. And then along the sides, we have room on both sides to walk around it. And then I think at the front, we could build a rack that has shovels and, I don't know, anything we need to put out like brush fires. I don't think I need like axes and stuff necessarily, because that's for like building fires. I don't think we're gonna burn any buildings. It is Demolition Ranch, but you never know. Yeah, I think I like that. I moved it back about 3 feet. And so you can see it's more over this wheel now for sure. That wheel might be taking a little bit of the weight, but most of the weight's gonna be on this back axle, which is where you want your load on something really heavy like this. And there's a little room at the end to do a hose reel coming off the back, which I think would be really cool. So, and then there's also room up here for shovels and whatever tools that we might need. So this thing will actually be really easy to hook in place, because you can see this is called a bread loaf tank, a loaf tank, and it's like loaves of bread, how they have like cuts, and you can either just build stakes, like weld stakes into the ground, or you can actually have straps that go up and go around it in 3 locations, going up and around it, hooking it down to our truck frame, which will be really easy to do, and then that thing will not move at all. That was also another issue with having the big round tank that was up high, is it was not an easy way to tie it down, because I could put a metal strap going all the way around the whole thing, but it would flex so much if you're on a hill or you're stopping really fast. So it was kind of sketchy just having that much water on a moving truck. Those tanks are normally made for like, yeah, not being on a giant truck like this. This is perfect for what we need. Let me show you my plan now though. So this is how you fill this tank. Very obvious, one giant 12-inch hole here for filling, very easy. And there's not a location to drain it. You have to put that in yourself, which also is very easy. And I ordered like this so that I could pick, because I wasn't sure where I wanted it. You get a little 2-inch fitting basically, so I have a 2-inch fitting somewhere, wherever we think is the best spot. Now my plan is to make this thing like legit. So I want to have a fitting coming out. It will hard pipe instead of like our flexible, we had that green flexible hose right there going to our tank. So this will hard pipe now with some like Schedule 40, Schedule 80 PVC. And I think I might cut a hole in the deck. So it just goes like out, goes in, comes down here to our pump, and then that will hard pipe all the way over to our hose reel. So it'll just be much less mess. All I'll do, come over here, flip a switch, pull this thing cranks up, and we have pressure. Now, some things that I also would like to do that are going to really complicate things. You guys know how I kind of get stupid about stuff sometimes. One, I would like to be able to fill this tank as well with this pump. So my plan is, since I already have the other, that white 550 gallon tank, I'm probably gonna leave that one full at the house on the ground, so that if I come put out a fire, empty this tank completely, I can go back and fill it up much faster. Because this takes, with a water hose, like an hour to fill up. But with this pump, it takes like 10 minutes because this thing pumps like crazy. So I was thinking, if I had another 550 gallons ready to go, I come stick a hose in there, flip a couple valves so it starts pumping backwards through that, fills this tank up in 10 minutes, I'm back to fighting fires, right? It's a good idea. Don't know how to do that yet. I gotta figure all that stuff out. It's gonna make it very complicated. The other thing I wanna do is when this thing is on and there's pressure in the line, it's not good if you're not spraying it because it's like not moving water. Hello. And, that's a really loud cricket and he's driving me crazy. So it's not moving water, and so the pump will heat up if you're not actually spraying water while the pump is trying to pump water. So I gotta figure out if there's some kind of like valve, and you guys who do plumbing might know this. Is there some sort of valve that is like, kind of like a pressure relief valve? So when my valve on my hand nozzle is closed, and so the pressure increases in the system, if it could pop a valve so it can start recirculating back into the tank, so it's not gonna burn up my pump. If, say, I'm like, I don't know if we need this on right now, let's just wait and see what happens, and I sit there for 2 minutes, it's not just burning out my pump. I wanna try to make some sort of recirculating system, but that's also gonna be very complicated. Anyway, let me know if you have any ideas. Trying to figure all this out. It's gonna be awesome though. Oh, check this out. You guys haven't seen Earl in a bit. Earl is doing fabulous. And we also just got some new meats on the tires. On the tires here. We got some BF Goodrich. These are the all-terrain KO2s. And we got them on all 4 corners of old Earl. Some brand new KO2s. These are really good for road. They're really good for street. You can see we already got them dirty because we went out driving on the ranch with Earl today. And man, so beefy, so good looking. Earl, you're my favorite. Okay, that is all, just like my BFGs. That might or might not be from when I got this thing stuck in the mud. Down to like here, it was bad. Get it, come on. I believe in you.
Nope.
All right, clean that up.
No.
I love it. I love it. It's so good. Ugh. But I really do need y'all's help figuring out how to make it better. Like, I want this system to be just so easy. What they actually have on fire trucks is what they call a manifold. So a manifold is like a bunch of pipes coming together into one. And so they'll have a manifold right here where all the pipes come in and there's valves to turn, and multiple valves so you can make the water go multiple directions. And so that's what I probably want to do, is figure out, like, it's gonna be a lot of thinking. I need to be able to pump water, tank to pump to hose reel to fire, but I also need to be able to pump water from ground tank to pump back into truck tank. But then I also need the pop-off thing, the kind of recirculating valve system. That's pretty much all I need, I think. Like, fire trucks, a lot of them will have multiple nozzles, or they'll have like one of those like turrets on the front or on the top, which would be super cool. But we can do that later if we ever figure out how to actually acquire one of those. That would be sweet. Okay, I mean, by the way, this thing does have a gunner's nest. So they made these things so they could be protected. And I made the joke when I got this truck, because the 5-ton does not have that. My Humvee did not have that. Some Humvees do. Mine was a soft top Humvee, it didn't have one. But this has the port up there. And I made the joke when I got this thing, I was like, we could put a Modus on top. At the time when I made the joke, I did not own a Modus. At this time, I do. I don't need a Modus on my fire truck, right? Right? Okay, we got something special for you. It's a magic trick. Okay?
This is called the Red Card Game. I'm going to show you all the cards that we have.
Okay. Got it. So, wait, open one more time. Okay, I got it. Yep.
Okay. Can you remember 3 of the cards?
Yeah. Queen of Clubs, King of Hearts, and a 5. I don't remember.
So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Got it, sort of. Oh, the Joker. I should have remembered that one.
Okay.
Okay, got it.
Now, we are going to add in this one.
Oh, black card, okay.
Guess which one is the black card?
10 of Hearts.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
How many black do we have?
Black,
How many
like
black cards?
clubs and spades? Or black back?
The black back.
1.
How many red?
6. What? You knew what she was doing the whole time?
Yes.
That was pretty good. So you just never showed me that they were black the whole time, huh?
Yeah.
Or was it magic?
It was magic.
Ah, she's magic. Okay, thanks for watching this episode of Off the Ranch and our fire truck that's finally taking shape into something good. I really do need firefighters and plumbers' help. Let me know what you think we should do to fix this problem. I love you, and I'll see you next time. Whoosh. Oh.
Hey, what camera is that? Number...
Shut up! Don't tell Mayor. Different day. Water's running down straight into the pipe, flowing that way instead of into the flower bed. But you can see how this river works too over here. Pumping water out, pumping it out of both of those pipes there. Perfect. And then over here on this side, you can really see it. That water just rushing down the driveway and dumping straight into the pipes. So good, look at that. And it comes right over here, dumps out there, and goes down the side. And not in our flower bed. Oh, you water. You just want to go straight into our flower bed, but you can't. No, you cannot. Sorry about ya. So cool, look at all that. I mean, that's just a sheet of water coming down the driveway, and then it stops. There's no water here.